Now, lots of people jump into this industry. They kind of have this dream because how it was presented to them. Very, very easy, not very time consuming. You just talk to a couple people and they talk and that whole thing, and they believe that that's really all they have to do. Now, all great things require hard work.
Mhm.
And then also that concept might work for a period of time, and then you plateau. But you are somebody who's able to overcome that.
Hmm.
Your creativity, you're able to connect and really build relationships. Is there a scenario or a case or an example that you have applied to your journey that really separated you from the status quo of direct sales?
Hey, that's a fantastic question. Again, really, really appreciate you. You're really dialed in, and I want you to know that I really respect the depth of these questions. So the short answer is yes. Success leaves clues. That was a saying that my mother taught me when I was 14. She was my mentor back in those formative years, and I can tell you that the number one thing that I was taught in 1993 after 4 years of failing, I pretty much did everything wrong as the proverbial salesperson trying to figure out how this whole industry works. My another mentor inside of this industry space, he said, "Look it, brother, it's not about you." I said, "Pardon?" He says, "The watch, the suit, the Mazda Miata, trying to chase the proverbial success of monetary success and the perception of success. You got it all wrong, man. It's not about you. It's got to be about the people you're talking to. Ask better questions, shut up and listen. Two ears and one mouth. Hit me like a sack of hammers." The point is one of the big takeaways is that you have to portray it to become it. I really dislike the term fake it till you make it. No, it's portray it to become it, meaning that if you have a compensation plan, you have a certain, rank, a leadership rank within your comp plan that equals a certain amount. Most reputable companies have a income disclosure statement that tells you that this rank equals on average this amount of income, etc. So if you have a certain economic metric that you have to achieve to be able to actually stay working from home, working for yourself versus for someone else, then you need to identify what that metric is, what does that look like, and what's the path to get there. So you need to then figure out a plan, work with your team, and then build towards that metric. And so for me, portraying it to become it, answering your question specifically, it's not about rapid fire, verbal diarrhea, trying to pitch everyone and their mother. If you can fog a mirror, you qualify to be part of my team. No, it's actually the actual opposite, Fong. It's about being discerning. It's about um, the offer to offer people an opportunity to learn more about what it is you're doing, but also to see if there's a good fit. It's not about just the instant default that, hey, if you have a credit card, you can join my company. No, it's about, is there an alignment? Is there synergy here? Is there a mutual groundwork of similar ilk that you can get behind helping people? If it's a nutrition space, are you health and wellness conscious, or are you still sucking on cancer sticks and struggling with your sugar addiction and other addictions? It's about trying to find people that are in alignment with what it is, the message is, what your culture, what your brand is all about, and being discerning enough to actually have questions around this business concept. Can you see yourself doing this? And then from there, uh, all of my years, the magic number is eight. Eight people, not two. Just get two that get two that get two. No, it's eight. Statistically speaking, Fong, you need to get good at being able to onboard eight people that that you like, and you trust. These aren't just words. This is the truth. If you can get eight people, when you get eight people to come into the team, understand what it is that you're doing, what your leadership is, are you competent? Are you confident? I.e., portray it to become it. Do you feel it? Do you see it? Do you understand the path of where we're going? This is why we're doing this. When you get eight people to come on board that buy into the concept of collaboration, working together, it's way easier to get to the top of the mountain together than it is alone.
Mhm.
Remember my comment earlier about being the Lone Ranger.
Right.
And so I would say to you and your audience that it is called network marketing, not net lazy marketing. It's work. It takes time to put together. I mean, right here, I'm old school. I have a cold bound book full of all of my comments of who I'm talking to, who's in my proverbial funnel. I don't use click funnels. I don't have a landing page. Okay, I'm 54. I'm old. Okay, get over it, folks. You know, your audience is kind of laughing right now, but you know what? This Cole book stays with me. I know who I'm talking to. I know where they're at in terms of their life. I know the wife or the husband's name. I know the kid's name. I know what's important to them. I know about their monetary situation because trust's been established. They've opened up to say that they're struggling financially. There's too much month left at the end of the money, and they're open to solutions of bringing in another income stream. How do I do it? So I'm onboarding people specifically. I'm not taking on projects. I'm taking on inspiration.
Right.
And as I bring on more people, Fong, I get further validation of what we're doing is right when I see them ascend through the leadership ranks of a compensation plan. And my wife and I are at the back of the room just seeing wave after wave after wave of people being celebrated at a regional event, a convention, a celebration event post-pandemic. You know, you need to have personal exchange. You need to have the ability to physically give high fives and hugs. It's part of the human spirit. And that's what we're all about. It's not about trying to falsify or be braggadocious or have sensationalism on stage with some of these yahoos with these big checks. That's fleeting. But what really is the secret sauce or the undercurrent is the kindness, the love, the community, the sense of collaboration, and the sense of achievement. And that's what I've stood by my whole career. I am a kindness influencer, and now we're moving the needle in that direction in terms of getting back into what we were pre-pandemic, helping to snuff out the divisiveness, the divide, the anger, the frustration, building back fences, and loving thy neighbor. Yeah, for some of the audience, they might be thinking that this is unicorns and rainbows, but this is really where I'm working from at this stage of my life. And honestly, I'm having more success today than I did 20 years ago when I made my first $3, $4, or $5 million in this industry. This is way easier today. The audience is way more open than ever before, and we really are making a difference.
Well, no, I know that another reason why you're so successful in what you do is you're able to foresee the next big thing. You're able to be ahead of the trend. You're able to pick out the products that you know is going to make a big difference. So what is out there right now that's going to literally change the world?
Well, I wish I could take the credit for that, but I actually am a big believer, Fong, that we manifest what it is that we focus on. I really believe that with my wife's coaching, she's really proven to me that the more that we resign ourselves and declare or surrender, I should say, to the universe, and that we focus on positive things, that we attract the right people. Like, for example, I attracted you last week. I didn't know you a week ago, prior. So you're a good guy and you're in my life. And I'm grateful for that. So to answer your question, in my unique niche, it's fair to say, Fong, that the world is fractured. I'm not here to be political. I'm not here to sort of, have any controversy, but my opinion is that our society today is a fraction of what it was pre-pandemic. And as a result, the world's hurting. Mental health is a crisis. It's an epidemic. I believe that there's lots of trauma. There's lots of concern and worry. Hyperinflation is mounting controls for cost of living. It's really putting a magnifying glass on the importance of getting back to basics. And so for me, the number one growth metric inside of this space today is providing people's solutions around their actual happiness and their focus, whether it's cognition or nootropics specifically. The future frontier of health is the brain. If your mind is not right, your body will never be right. And so I think that there's a heightened awareness around cognition and nootropics. I'd also say that the delivery system is changing. I think gone are the days of pills, tablets, and capsules. I think that we've seen we're in the end days of fistfuls of pills, tablets, and capsules down the gullet, figuring out a way to get those, down, because a lot of people, I've heard the number as high as 40% of people just can't swallow a capsule anymore. Wow. And so you're seeing now a growth in the oral suspension, whether it's tinctures, whether it's the dissolvable wafer, or whether it's innovation like nano emulsion sprays, those sorts of things. And so to me, I have an exciting project right now that with the launch of a brand new nano emulsion technology that delivers 100% assimilation rates compared to traditionally 5 to 10%.
Wow.
Pretty easy conversation to have with people that are health conscious. Hey, what's better for your body, 5% assimilation or 100% assimilation? It's a pretty
Right.
easy answer, right? So that to me is kind of the space that I'm really dedicated to. And our family also has been affected by mental health. We had a breakdown with one of our kids, and student athlete, straight A student, that sort of thing. But again, mental health doesn't discriminate. And so for about 5, 6 years ago, I dedicated a lot of resources and times to researching psychiatric nutrition. And so my wife and I are heavily involved in the mental health space. And proudly, we happen to own a product license under the Health Canada monograph under one of the products that we actually were able to successfully license with the help of a leading psychiatric nutrition expert, Dr. Paul Milne. So we have that formula that we're currently looking to now retool into the nano space. And so the future is really bright, and I'm really optimistic that despite post-pandemic condition, I'm optimistic and believing, Fong, that love and kindness will become the cool kid in the room, and treating your neighbor with respect and getting people back on a solid footing, getting their mojo back, and starting to thrive again instead of just trying to hang on. So that's kind of the space that I'm working in right now, Fong, and I couldn't be more excited.
Awesome. Very, very excited to see how that comes out. Last question for you. This time has gone by very, very fast. If you had the opportunity to speak to the world and to leave one message for people to remember TED for, what's that message?
Wow. Well, give me a moment to gather myself, because I'm low testosterone at 54. I say that jokingly, but I just think it's important to be authentic. The world needs you. You matter. Uh, you're a god. You're a child of a higher power, and I think you have great potential. Um, just remember to breathe. There's going to be good days, not so good days. Um, Sometimes you need to have a breakdown in order to invite a breakthrough.
Well,
Find a good mentor, find someone that you appreciate and respect. Put aside your differences. Life is too short. And I'll leave you with this. My mother had a saying, honey, there's no magic in small dreams.